I'm Jim Collison and live from the Gallup campus here in Omaha, Nebraska. This is Gallup's Called the Coach, recorded on November 25th, 2019. Called the Coach is a resource for those who want to help others discover and use their strengths. We have Gallup experts and independent strengths coaches share tactics, insights, and strategies to help coaches maximize the talent of individuals, teams, and organizations around the world. If you're listening live, love to have you join us in the chat room. There's a link up on the live page to the video right above you there. Join us in YouTube, sign in there, and you can ask your questions live. Or if it's after the fact, you can email us your questions, coaching@gallup.com. Austin Suellentrop is our host today. Austin is the CliftonStrengths portfolio manager and my new best friend at work. Austin, welcome to Called the Coach.
Thank you very much, Jim. I think you can get away from the new. We've been best friends at work for long enough now. I think we can just sort of own that one. So hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to be with you. I've had the chance to meet many of you virtually and really sort of love the chance to get to know you and work with all of you. Excited for the conversation today. Today is sort of kicking off a bit of a series we're doing around how to fully take advantage of all the tools and resources you have at your disposal inside of Gallup Access, right? So we've received a lot of feedback over the last couple months on Access as a platform and what you are enjoying about it, what's frustrating you about it. So we're going to be digging into those things over the next couple episodes that I'm a part of. And today we're really excited to get into one of those tools that we know many of you have been leveraging, which are your digital kits, right? So if you've been paying attention to the Certified Coaches newsletter, you have gotten word that on December 13th, those kits are moving into Gallup Access, where they currently live outside of the platform. So we're excited today to have Patrick Nielsen with us. Patrick is one of our learning designers who has been very involved in this process of creating the kits and sort of working with us. So Patrick, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Austin. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So today I'm going to run through a look at the digital kits on the new platform and compare a little bit of what you're going to be able to do with the digital kits as we've moved them over, where you went before and where you're going to go now. So I will get started.
Wonderful. Thanks. Jim and I will be in the background monitoring the chat room and the comments, making sure we get your questions answered while Patrick does his demo. So take it away, Patrick.
Great, thank you. So most of you would probably know that you would go to courses.gallup.com to start looking for your digital kits to get access to them right now. And that is where you will continue to go, because the dates that we are looking to migrate all of the content over is going to be December 13th. A lot of you who are existing users should have gotten an email on November 13th, alerting you of the change that is coming up. So where you get access to your kits currently is through the Digital Learning Center on courses.gallup.com. When you log in, you would come over here to the Digital Learning Center. Like I said, on December 13th, we're going to switch over to Gallup Access, and I'll show you all of that here shortly. On January 1st, when we no longer access the digital kits through this area, we will redirect you to Gallup Access to access your kits at this point. But this should be pretty familiar that you've gone in and you've accessed your kits on this Gallup Digital Learning Center. You would have your Strengths Coaching Starter Kit or whatever kits that you would have access to as well. Another thing that if you haven't scrolled all the way down to the bottom of the page that I just want to make you aware of is this little notification that we have down here that will be updating on December 13th when we do have the ability to log in on Gallup Access to access your kits. Just to give you an update on where we're at. So we already have this updated to say that the digital resources are moving. We give you the date of December 13th where they'll be available. So as I've said already, you will have some overlap times where you can still access your digital kits here on courses.gallup.com, but we would like you to start accessing them on Gallup Access to get familiar with them and start using them in your new location. If you have any questions, and I'll repeat this as we go, you can email, contact us at galluplearn@gallup.com to go in and do that. So as you've done hopefully many times before, if you were launching your kit, you would just go to open your digital content, And this is what you would see. You would get the navigation of the existing kits before you would actually be able to go in and look at everything. So note just what you have over here on the left side. There are some similarities in the way in which we navigate on the new digital kits as well. So I just want you to be aware of that. And there are some features that are still very similar, but I will go over a lot of the changes with you as well. So that is the world in which you live right now with your digital kits, where you will access them on courses.gallup.com, go into the Digital Learning Center, and be able to get the content that you have. Starting December 13th, again, probably reiterate that date as many times as I can, you will be able to go to Gallup Access. So just Gallup Access and log in to the digital kits. Here at the sign in over here, you would be able to go in and use what you have. I'm going to run you through here quickly with a test user. So when you're logging in, you will use the same account that you use currently to log in at courses.gallup.com. The email that was sent to you previously should outline that as well. And so when you do log in, you'll be on the Gallup Access dashboard. So hopefully you've seen this before, where you can interact with your strengths and things like that. For what we're looking at here, you're going to want to go over to the menu in the top left corner and click on Courses and Workbooks. So in an effort, as you all know already, to try to get everything over to Gallup Access and point everybody to one platform, this is just the next step in that process. And we're moving all of our learning content over to this area of Gallup Access. And so when you click on Courses and Workbooks, that'll take you to our learning dashboard. So you can see your learner dashboard up here, and you'll be able to see all of the content that you'll be able to interact with here. Within the dashboard, you can see that, some of the main things that you'll probably be interacting with would be this activity tab or the access your content tab. When you first log in, all of the content that you have access to will more than likely be under the Access Your Content tab. Once you start accessing content, it will move up into the Activity tab for you to then just move and get into it for quicker access. So today I'm going to be running you through a look at the digital kit for the Leading High Performance Teams course that we have. We are still working right now to make sure that everything is buttoned up and ready to go for the launch of the digital kits for the Strengths digital kits on December 13th. So we are in the process of finalizing everything there to make sure that it is ready to go in our final testing stages. But the features, functionalities, everything that you're going to see here today will carry over into the digital kits that you will have access to as coaches based on the courses that you went to for strengths as well. So if you have it up here in activity, you can go ahead and just click on continue or start. But if you click on access your content, you'll be able to get into your digital kit. Just kind of, again, a lay of the land. Your navigation menu is going to be over on the left side like you saw on the previous kits. You have a notes tab, and I'll walk through the notes functionality there as well. You can hide the menu if you'd like, just like you could in the other one. A new feature that I will get into as well that we didn't previously have on the kits is a search feature. So you're able to search content within the entire digital kit, and it'll take you to where that is located within the course. So that's something that we're really excited about as well, and something that had been asked for quite a while. So that's a pretty significant upgrade at this point. So yeah, I'll just kind of run you through some of the things that we'll be looking at today, as far as what is what is important for you to know within the digital kits. And one of the things that I wanted to start off with is the notes feature. So you were able to take notes in the previous kit as well, but we'll run through that here real quick as well. So let me just show you some of the pages in here real quick, and you can kind of see what we're talking about. So for the notes feature in here, In the previous kit, you would see a little tab that would come up off to the side where you would add your note. For our current kits, when you highlight text, you'll get the ability to add a note to anything that you highlight. So if I'm adding a note to this, I would say this is the first note I'm adding to this kit. And then I can save my note. When I come back to that page, I'll always see that text highlighted, and then I can go in to view my note, which is, you're able to see it right away, and it's available for you to look at. But when you come over to look at the notes screen over here, or the notes tab, you can see all the notes that you'll take within the course. And if you were on any other page within the course, if I wanted to click on something in Teams conversations, but then go back and look at my notes, I could go into my notes and say, I want to see where I took this note at, and go back to that page within the course, and I can go right back to where I took that note. So the notes are a little bit more intuitive than what we had previously, where you would take it and it would just be associated with a block of text. You can decide where exactly you would like to take your note and where you would like to add it. And then from this notes tab, you're able to go back to wherever you took that note from and then go forward from there. So the notes are something that are a little different, but again, just something to be able to kind of walk through, and a little bit of an enhancement and a feature to kind of get used to as you go through this. The next thing that I would probably walk you through is bookmarks. So every page within the course is going to have this little bookmark icon up in the top corner here. And anytime you click on it, you're going to get the Save Bookmark feature that'll come up here. And it'll tell you exactly organization-wise where you will find it within the course. And you can either add it to just your bookmarks. If you have all of your bookmarks in the same place, you can create a new folder and just say, strengths-based management. And then you can save that to your bookmarks. Any page you bookmark as you're going through your kit will be saved with a green checkmark box there. But you can do that, and instead of being able to look at it within a course, when you're on your dashboard, you'll be able to come to this Bookmarks tab. And the only time the Bookmarks tab comes up is if you actually have a bookmark page within the course, and you'll see that you have one bookmark page, or I have one bookmark page within the course at this point, and I can go click on this view button and go right back in to the bookmark page that I want to go look at. So it's not recommended that you would click on the link up here in the address bar and bookmark anything from your browser. You would want to use this bookmark icon and the bookmark functionality over here on the right side of the page to save any of the pages that you would like to bookmark. And it'll compile all of those, like I said, on the dashboard of your learner dashboard. So,
all right, Patrick, I want to stop right there. I want to reiterate that point.
Yep.
From a usability perspective, I think it's an important thing. The built-in bookmark feature in the kit is an absolutely better use of the functionality than trying to bookmark the actual page in your browser. I do know I got some feedback of people who struggle with the bookmarks not linking directly up to specific content. I think that's a good call out. The bookmark feature inside for specific pages, not your browser bookmark.
Yeah. So the only if you were to bookmark a page, it would be very difficult for you to get back into that specific page within a course or within a piece of content within these digital kits, unless you were already logged in, which, just doesn't make it for a very easy way for you to do it. So like Austin said, like he helped reiterate, just make sure that if you, have a page that you are, completely dedicated to using and want to make sure that you always have saved, start using the bookmark feature within the content, and you will be set to go. Every time you go to the dashboard, you'll be able to get right back into it. So great. Thank you, Austin, for bringing that up. I appreciate it. And like I, kind of probably glanced over before, I apologize, but every time you see this home button up here in the top left corner, it'll take you back to the home screen so that you can go back and look at all of your content that you have. Some people will have more content than others, depending on which course you obviously took or which kits you have access to. So it obviously everyone's dashboard will look different based on what they already have access to. So. The next thing that I'll probably run through are the different page types that we have access to within the course. So one of the other things that we were able to do within the new digital kits within the new learning platform is add a little bit more interactivity to some of our pages. We tried to optimize the user experience as well so that we didn't have a lot of long scrolling pages. We were able to just, really tighten up the content. There's no loss of content in the migration from one platform to the next, but we were able to really optimize it and make it a better learner experience, add a little bit more functionality. So this is just something in here where if you see a list with these expands, which you've probably seen many times throughout, your use of the internet, we have these kind of hidden lists within here, and you're able to just bring up more information as you go. So it's always a good idea to, as you're searching for more information and more content, to anytime you see one of these, make sure you expand those lists so that you get all of the information that you could possibly want about anytime you see one of these list roles throughout the course, so that you can expand and close as you go out throughout everything. So that's one of the big ones as far as, again, just optimizing the content so that there's not a long, level of scroll that you kind of have to go through. But it is one of those things that we're, really happy with being able to do. So then the next one that we have in here is, strengths-based managers, high performance managers. These are flip cards. So again, just a little bit more of an interactive way to kind of get through some of the content. So in our leading high performance teams, we talk about what high performance managers need to do. So, just off the top, we say you need to be strengths-based, engagement-focused, performance-oriented, and then we give more information on the back of the cards to say exactly what it means to be those things. So these flip cards, looking for this little icon to tell you that this is where the flip is going to occur, is a really important thing to keep your eye out for, because that will give you just that, extra bit of information that something is coming up. But it is something to kind of look out for so that you're really taking advantage of all of the information that is there in the long run. So just want to make sure, again, to kind of point that out to everybody. But it is another really interesting feature that we have for the kits here. So the next thing would be our downloads that we have on the screen. So in this next one, great managing, starts with you. This is something that we did in the previous kits as well. So you were able to find the downloads on the page where we actually talk about the downloads, as opposed to just mentioning the downloads and then going into this downloadable resource section and searching for the right one, or hopefully finding the right one. So every time you see one of these gray boxes with a picture of what the download is, you're going to be able to go in and find the download, and click on the letter version or the A4 version, and you have all of the, all of the abilities to either download or print what you're looking for. If it is a PDF that should be writable, we have made all attempts to make all of our PDFs writable in that regard. So you have all of those on the page, and then in the library of downloadable resources, if you're someone who just wants to kind of scroll through and look at what resources are available, you have the ability to just kind of jump to this second section of the course and kind of look through and see exactly what we have available for resources just at any given time, as opposed to kind of going through all the content and searching for something. You can go through the resources and search exactly for where you need to go. So generally find them on the page where they're supposed to be found, but also in the entire section of downloadable resources to make sure that you're able to get exactly what you need. So the next thing when it comes to interactivity is, again, we tried to make these just as engaging as we possibly could, but just try to make some of these things pop a little bit more on the screen. So when talking about things like the sorting effect here, for example, or when you get into the strengths content, you'll see some other examples, but information that just comes at you in a different way. So click to reveal certain things and make sure that you're able to get the content in a little bit more than just scrolling through and reading. So you'll always have the ability to kind of redo it. So if you come back to it, you'll be able to go through it again. But just looking for any way that we possibly can to make sure that we're being as engaging as possible. Videos, you'll see videos throughout on the screen, throughout the digital kit as well. All of the videos are going to be captioned. So just if you're in need of that, make sure you take a look out for that, generally in the corner of the screen. So it's always going to be available for you there. And if you need assistance or help with that, you can always email Gallup Learn at gallup.com with anything if you need assistance there. Next feature, which I feel like is, like I said before at the very beginning, one of the things that we just had heard feedback on over and over again, was a search feature within the content. So up here in this search bar, as any other search feature would be, if you were looking to find something on managing to strengths within this kit, it will list it out if it's an entire page within the kit that is titled with something like that. I obviously knew there was one with that title, so I was able to go right through it. But also content within that you would be able to find. So I would be able to just go straight to the page that has that result on there and make sure that I was able to, find exactly what I'm looking for. Other keywords that you would be able to kind of look for. If I was looking for achiever, there's a page that would give me all of the information on achiever, or at least looking at achiever, and kind of cycle through all of that. So the search feature is something that is incredibly helpful and a huge addition to what we've done with the digital kits as well. And I know that that's something that has just been, really helpful in the kits that we've done so far that we've already created on the platform as well. So that kind of wraps up a lot of the main features and, functionality that I have. On the front page of every kit, there will be a quick video that will walk you through a lot of what I just described here today as well in this What's in Your Digital Kit page. And this will be included in all of the strengths digital kits as well. And as we go through, and if there are more features added, we'll be able to add to this video or update the video. But if you have time and you want to just kind of walk through this video when you get access to your kit, this will be available to you to learn a little bit more about your kits. So I just wanted to reiterate some of those dates that I brought up at the very beginning. On December 13th, all of the digital kits, this Leading High Performance Teams digital kit and the Strengths digital kits, will be live on Gallup Access. So we sent out the email on November 13th. We've updated all courses that happened between November 13th and December 13th to let everybody know that while you do still have access on courses.gallup.com or shop.gallup.com, which takes you to the same digital learning center, on December 13th, you are going to start getting access to Gallup Access courses and workbooks to go into your digital kits. At the end of the year, on January, or at the beginning of next year, on January 1st, you will no longer be able to access the kits on courses.gallup.com. December 31st is the last day you'll have to access that. So if you're, looking for, trying to be familiar with your old kit, or looking for something that you know exactly where it is, you'll have till the end of the year to utilize your old digital kit. And then January 1st, it will only be the digital kits on Gallup Access. So just prepare for that complete transition, and we will be redirecting users from the Digital Learning Center link to the Gallup Access login at that point as well. So just in case anybody is not in the know, we will have some things in there to make sure that everybody gets to where they need to go. And if there's any sort of confusion, we'll have that galluplearn@gallup.com email address posted so everybody is aware of what is going on at this point. So,
Patrick, we have a bunch of questions. So
great.
Let me roll through those. Let's start with DRM, or digital rights management, that we have on these. On the old kits, we locked those down pretty tight as far as what you could and couldn't export, copy, and paste. I'm assuming from a kit perspective, that's going to be the same. We're going to guard that content. Copy and paste is not going to be enabled. You can't export that stuff out. One of the frustrating parts was the notes, though. Last time, I think we're locked down in some ways. Notes, if they're in there, can I copy and paste those back out once I put them in, or share them in any way?
Yes, you should be able to copy and paste them back out, but every note that you take will compile into one larger guide of notes, if you will, and you'll be able to print all of your notes out at any time that you would like.
And then those bookmarks are super cool. If I was in an organization, say we have 15 coaches in an organization, and they want to share certain spots in the kit to go to, is there a way to be able to do that where I can share a bookmark as opposed just of a location?
No, unfortunately not. That would still be a link. And like I said before, not to get too technical with it, you could share a link to someone, and if they're logged into the system, they would be able to get right to it. It just becomes more difficult if people aren't logged in, just getting into that. So,
right.
Yep.
But that still would work. If I had a section I wanted to lead somebody to, I could copy and paste the link, send it to them, and then they would just need to log in, and they would take them right to that spot. So those URLs are unique. You just have to be logged in to get past it.
Correct.
And they would need to have access to that same kit. I think that's the important thing, right?
Yep.
So if I'm coaching somebody and there's a section in this kit that I want to share with them, if they haven't purchased the access to this digital kit, right, they're not going to be able to get that page.
That is correct. Yep.
I think that's a good distinction to make.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who owns the kit? This is not necessarily related to this, but when an individual goes to the training on part of an organization behalf, and they then leave that organization, does the kit move along with them? Is it assigned to them or assigned to the organization?
That's going to be unique company by company.
Okay. Yes.
Right. So I think that's a great question. Our certifications travel with the individual, right? So if you become a certified coach, our approach is you are a certified coach. And so that is your personal certification. When it comes to account management on sort of permissions and things along those lines, that is oftentimes handled company by company. If you have a specific situation, you can reach out to me directly, and I'd be happy to connect with you and look into it, particularly. So Austin _Suellentrop at gallup.com. I'm always happy to talk to you about it.
That was Amy's question, and a good one. That was almost
that's a great question.
Yeah,
that was almost a stumper.
It's unfortunately not a universally consistent answer. So that's what we need to make sure we are specific about.
Patrick, Ralph in the pre-show had asked a little bit about translations and when those will be available in 2020. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So we are working right now to make sure that the interface for the learning area or for the learning system can be translated in the beginning of 2020. So sometime in Q1 of 2020, you'll be able to translate the interface. The rest of the content within the learning system, we are working to roll out throughout 2020. So there will be options for translated content as we go through 2020.
And we'll push those. We'll advertise those dates just as soon as we know them. So you'll probably want to stay tuned to our community updates. That's something Austin will probably update us on as we go throughout the year. When we have dates, we'll share them. Yeah. Austin, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah. So we are remarkably mindful right now of internationalization needs with Access as a platform and with all of our Learn content. So if you think about all of the content we have from the on-demand learning modules and things along those lines, the features and functions of Access as a whole, internationalization is a priority. So the translations is a priority. These kits make up, one section of that. So there is absolutely an active plan to bring more translations and more internationalization of our learning content, of which this is a plan throughout the year of 2020. So yes, they're coming. More details as we have them specifically.
Patrick, what about in the app? So we have a lot of folks, we've been rolling out the Gallup Access app, and there's some folks who maybe want access to this on their phone. Will it be available in the app? Is there a plan? And if not, how accessible is this just through your phone from the website directly?
This is available in the app. You can go to courses and workbooks in the Gallup Access mobile app and access this through that. We have designed this to be mobile responsive as well. So you should have a pretty good experience as you go through this when you are in the mobile app. You can also access it through the website on a mobile device as well.
Yeah. The iPad version is pretty slick. I'm not going to lie. That's the version I prefer to use as I'm moving around doing my coaching. The iPad version is my go-to.
All right, maybe one of the most important questions of the day. What about the PowerPoint that nobody can ever find that I have to send them to? So it hides in there a little bit because for whatever reason, people can't find it. Will the PowerPoint be included in this, and where would they find it?
So the PowerPoint will be included. We're not changing any of the resources from the previous kits to the kits as we update them. The biggest change in any of the content would just be the update in content, as we would naturally update content, as courses and content and things like that are updated. The PowerPoint that you're talking about will be included as well. We are doing, since that is one of the biggest pieces of feedback that we've gotten throughout our time with the digital kits, we are doing everything we can to make sure that that is front and center and easy to find within the kit. Granted, it is in the resources, but it's also found within the area. I would say that if you're someone who just always wants to find that PowerPoint deck, that you're going to want to go right to downloadable resources in that strengths kit and locate it in that area.
And you would just type in "start with talent." That will get you there.
There you go. Absolutely. Start with talent. We'll absolutely find that in the search, which we did not have before. And that is the resource that generally people are looking for. So in the search bar up here, if you type in "start with talent," you are going to get right there into every place in the kit that we talk about it.
Austin, thank you for doing that, by the way. That should save me at least once a month. I have to make a graphic show. It does hide, just to be honest. It hides there and search wasn't there. So just to be fair. To be fair. Austin, a little tricky and sticky question. Way back when we first started doing this back in 2014, many people got paper kits. And then we upgraded to digital kits. And this, if folks have paper kits, are they going to get this? Are they going to get this, or where are we at with that?
Yeah. So if you were like me, and when you went through your training, I went back through mine in 2012, right, and got big physical boxes full of material. You do not automatically get digital kits, right? So when we first introduced the digital kits, we ran a bit of a campaign for existing coaches on being able to get access to purchase the digital kits. So the digital kits are available for purchase. The new ones, there will be a period where they go down and you can't buy them for a little bit as we get this all transferred and into the new store. So as certified coaches, then be on the lookout for us to be rolling more communication out when they are sort of up and running on the store. If you don't currently have digital kits and you're interested. If you already have access to digital kits, yes, this is what you'll get. So if you're currently using the digital kit platform, you'll automatically get moved into this new section.
Patrick, Ralph is asking a question about search. The search. So if I go to Access, there's a search bar there.
Yeah.
Does that cover kits, or do I need to go into the kits to find the materials there?
Yeah, that's a good question. You will have to go directly into the kits. And another nuance of that would be that if you have access to, let's say when you go to ASC and you get access to the 3 kits, you can't search in one and get content across all 3. You're searching within the piece of content that you are live looking at that time. Yep.
Dig in on that. And that's a little bit, if you if we included that at the highest level on Access, it may bring back materials, of course, folks don't have access to, and some other pieces, right? That gets kind of complicated across that. So, so a little complex and complicated on that one.
Yep.
Let's see. I'll throw this out to the chat room. Last call for questions there. Austin, anything else you want to add?
No, thank you, Patrick. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. To all of you online, thank you for joining us. This is part of our continued commitment to making sure you know what's coming, to making sure you know all the things you have access to inside of our platform, but also to get your feedback and to get these questions is really helpful for us. So I continue to appreciate your involvement. I love that on a Monday at lunchtime, the kind of interaction we're getting with you all this week. When I think about Thanksgiving here in the States, I'm remarkably grateful for the people out there like you all who are continuing to drive our movement globally. It's really exciting. So thank you for taking the time to be here. I'm good, Jim.
Patrick, anything else you want to add after those questions?
Yeah, no, I just kind of to build off of one thing Austin said, when we do kind of pull the strengths kits down from shop here at the end of November, we're looking to not only add the kits that we're discussing here, those strengths kits, but we have a lot more coming in that time that we're really excited about. So I'm sure that there will be a lot more communication around that, that you guys will all get, and we'll be looking forward to that as well. So,
Austin, one more question from Ralph. Will we, when we roll out the language on the kits, will we do a similar rollout as to what we're doing right now for those languages?
Yeah, when we get the internationalization of this content, we'll make sure we'll have dedicated airtime like this to show you how to access it, what it looks like, how it operates, the whole nine. So yes, Ralph, and I'll be leaning on you to help me figure out the best way to do that.
And Patrick, as we roll this thing out, I mean, this is going to be as close to perfect as possible. But if folks are having problems or questions or those kinds of things, what's the best way for them to connect to us to get those problems resolved?
Yeah, I would say that the best way to connect would be to email that galluplearn@gallup.com email inbox. That would be probably one of the best ways to do it. If you're having issues once you start getting into Gallup Access with your account, our client support team will be able to assist with that really well, better than that Gallup Learn email inbox. But any questions you have on accessing your kits, the content within there, navigating all of those features, things like that, the galluplearn@gallup.com email address will be able to address all of those things.
Super. All right. Well, with that, we'll remind everyone to take full advantages of all the resources we have available on the new Gallup Access platform. Just go to gallup.com/CliftonStrengths. Send us your questions or comments. If you can't remember anything, just remember coaching@gallup.com and we will email you back. If you can catch the recorded audio and video of this program, as well as all the past ones that we have done, you can find them on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search CliftonStrengths. You can get the live channel by searching Gallup Webcasts. Or if you want to do this via podcast, you can go to any podcast player and search Gallup Webcasts, and that will get you there as well. If you're interested in any of the training that we talked a little bit about that. Speaking of that, Patrick, so I've always said go to courses.gallup.com for training resources going forward and scheduling. I don't know. What's the new address for folks that want to see where training is? Do we know? This is a surprise. Austin, do you know?
It'll be courses.
For Gallup.com/CliftonStrengths is still a place to go. That's what we'll be linking everybody from. So more to come as we move that.
The training. Yeah. Okay. I stumped him. Yes.
You can't be throwing us curveballs as we're closing out the session.
Sorry. It's just in my script. It's what I have to read. Of course, you can join us on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/called to coach. We do, again, want to thank everyone for coming out on this Monday to be a part of it. Great questions. With that, we'll say goodbye, everybody.